Let's get to Kevin Hincks live at the CBOE and the pre-bell playbook. What's going on there? Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Nicole. A quiet morning for futures and most products moving the markets this morning. But remember, yesterday we opened down and fired higher the minute the market opened. So a very quiet market to start the morning. A lot of the futures are very close to unchanged. You've got 10-year yields slightly lower. You've got the dollar slightly lower, but all very close to home. The biggest news overnight and yesterday and this morning are all the Fed speakers and all the different looks we're getting at their views on the economy. So today, Jerome Powell's going to be speaking, Michelle Bowman, Raphael Bostic, who already made comments yesterday that moved markets. So we're getting a variety. Austin Goolsby's been on this morning. Stephen Micron spoke yesterday. James Bullard has been talking today, all about views, some much more dramatic. I thought Stephen Micron really put out a detailed case of why he thinks rates should be significantly lower than they are right now. And here's what he said, Nicole, and it was very interesting. He said, immigration, trade, tax, deregulatory policies are all increasing savings and increasing productivity, and therefore rates can be lower. Now, he made some couple extreme examples, but his theme is the Trump policies are working and bringing down all these, and therefore rates don't have to be as restrictive. So a lot of speakers making their case for why. Remember, it was Alberto Muslim said rates should stay right here. They shouldn't go down. Raphael Bostic yesterday, he'll be speaking today. He said yesterday, the one rate cut that I proposed is already done, and he doesn't see any more for the rest of the year. So you are getting a wide variety of opinions on where rates should be. And it all has to do, Nicole, with are tariffs inflationary? James Bullard says no. A lot of Fed members are starting to say no. We'll see how it plays out. But that, I think, right now is what's driving the markets, Nicole.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, and that coupled with the funding of the government, which is September 30th. And that's also weighing because this time where Chuck Schumer really encouraged the Democrats to move forward, now there seems to be a call to the Democrats to dig their heels in so that it could be a Republican government shutdown. And that's the language they are using. I am in no way partisan one way or the other, but it seems to be a different ballgame this round. So Chuck Schumer has encouraged the president to talk with the Democrats and try and figure out a way. So I think that's also looming. As far as the cuts, I mean, obviously that PCE print will be so key on Friday, right? I mean, we see the labor market slowing and the inflation story. People are still concerned about inflation.
Yeah, exactly right. We're going to get personal income and outlays on Friday, which within that report has the all-important PCE data. And right now, here's the consensus views. The year-over-year headline PCE up 0.3 and 2.7 for the year-over-year. That's up a tenth on the year-over-year. The core up 0.2. That's a good number. And 2.9%, that's unchanged. So those are the numbers that expectations are for this week's PCE data. We'll see how it comes out, but the consensus is up a tenth on year-over-year headline, unchanged on core at 2.9%. So yeah, that's going to be a big number for Friday. And remember, Thursday we'll get GDP and durable goods. The GDP data has been fascinating lately because it's been showing, remember, the second look showed negative government spending. You think that's deflationary? Of course it is. So we'll really pour over that data when it comes out on Thursday, the third look at third quarter GDP. Second.
Yeah, understood. Look, we have a lot of names in the news here. Obviously, NVIDIA and Oracle, Palantir, Boeing, Tesla, so many to watch. Micron is a key one because it's reporting its earnings after the closing bell. What are you watching for there?
Well, the great thing about Micron is it is feeding AI, right, and chips. But here's the problem. The bar is going to be very high. This stock has rallied 35% in the last 3 months, Nicole, and it's up this morning. So watch for, remember, when the bar gets high like this, we talk about it all the time on Fast Market, you can't have any misses. And Micron tends to be all over the board with some of their earnings, so that is certainly one worth watching today.
Understood. All right. Lots to watch. Kevin Hincks, thank you so much. We'll continue to follow all the top stories.